Good morning. 6 years ago, Mike and Penny Hatchell came to see me in my office. And they said, "We have an overwhelming problem. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of teddy bears. And we've got to find something to do with them." They said, "Here's what happened. When Mike's mother, Louise Owen Hatchell, was a little girl, her family did not have very much. And when she was an older woman, already a grandmother, one Christmas, a child was given a teddy bear. And Louise said, 'I wish I had had a teddy bear when I was a child.' And the whole family sat up and said, 'What? You never had a teddy bear?' And so began a tradition every year of giving Louise Hatchell a bear. She lived a very full life after that. And when the time came for her to die, she left a legacy of bears. And Mike and Penny wondered what could be done with all of these bears. So they came to us, to their church, and they said, "What could we do with these bears?" And we thought about it, and we spoke with Sybil, our director of religious education, about it. And Sybil spoke with what was then called Safe Homes Rape Crisis Coalition, is now called Project Rest, and spoke with City of Spartanburg Public Safety, and spoke with the Child Advocacy Center. And what we learned was that there are times in the lives of some children when they have to leave their homes because things in the homes have gotten really bad. And when that time comes, the social workers and the therapists and the public safety officers who are with those children try when they can to give them a teddy bear, something they can hold on to and feel some love from as they journey into a very uncertain next phase of their life. And so we held Teddy Bear Sunday to do an offering of bears. And that first Teddy Bear Sunday, all of Louise Hatchell's bears were arrayed around our sanctuary, more than 50 bears. And dozens and dozens and dozens of other bears, and unicorns, and horses, and even, as I recall, a Christmas octopus made its way to the front of the sanctuary, stuffed animals of all kinds. And every winter holiday since then, we have celebrated Teddy Bear Sunday, do an offering of compassion for these children in our community who are suffering darkness. And in that moment, we want to offer them a moment of love. Now, this summer, Penny Hatchell died. This is the first Teddy Bear Sunday that we've celebrated in Penny's absence. That is a source of grief. And I sat with Penny in the hospice home. We talked about the legacy that she had helped create with Mike and how this had grown beyond all of us and had become a tradition in the church, something that would continue beyond her life. When we celebrate today, we remember Penny, and we remember Louise, and we remember especially all of those children for whom we do this. This is a source of grief, the loss of our lives. And in that grief, we turn to offer compassion, and we can create joy. So, this is what's going to happen today. In just a few minutes, not quite yet, Cynthia, our worship associate, is going to invite us to bring forward our bears. Those of you who have been here before will see that our rippling bowl is right in the center. I know that it is going to be a very difficult temptation to participate in the Rippling Bowl, but I want to ask you just to wait. This is going to come later in the service, okay? Cynthia will invite us to bring forward our bears, and we want to put our bears on this side of the sanctuary and on this side of the sanctuary so we can all see them. And leave this space open as much as we can for our kids a little bit later and for a Rippling Bowl. This is the way joy works. We turn to what is most difficult in life. And when we bring compassion, we can transform it into joy. Welcome this morning.
Children of the earth, we have come to sing to each other, sister and brother, songs of our Mother Earth. Children of the earth, autumn soon will breathe her last breath, and quick will her death bear witness to winter's birth. Children of the earth, can you feel the air getting cold as darkness takes hold and sleep covers Mother Earth? Children of the earth, we have come to sit in the darkness, breathe in the silence, think of our Mother Earth.
Good morning. My name is Virginia McLean, and I serve on the Board of Trustees here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. It is my delight to welcome you this morning, whether you are here in person or virtually. This is a welcoming congregation where everyone is welcome just as we are. There are a few important announcements in the back of your order of service under the sheet entitled Connect. I would like to just focus on a few of them. First of all, welcome to our visitors. We are so glad you are with us this morning. If this is your first time, we would love to get to know you better. You can fill out a visitor card in the pocket in the chair, at the back of the chair in front of you, and put it into the offering plate, and we would love to connect with you. The other announcement I would like to highlight is our winter solstice service on Wednesday, December 21st at 6:30. Weather permitting, we'll gather on the back lawn of the church right out here. If weather is not so cooperative, we will gather in the sanctuary. Come fill the darkness, chant and drum, and bear light through the darkest night of the year. Thank you for making this place a warm and welcoming place. Thank you for your kindness every time we gather across all of our differences. Thank you, everyone, for all you do and all you give to make this world more livable for every one of us. Welcome.
From the Book of Joy, by His Holiness, the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Douglas Abrams. When we have the courage to live with an open heart, we are able to feel our pain and the pain of others, but we are also able to experience more joy. The bigger and warmer our heart, the stronger our senses of aliveness and resilience.
Please stand as you're willing and able and join me on hymn number 55 in your gray hymnal. Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surrounds me. Let my thoughts go where they will, ease my mind profoundly, and then my soul will sing a song, a blessed song of love eternal. Gentle darkness, soft and still, bring your quiet to me. Darkness, soothe my weary eyes, that I may see more clearly. When my heart with sorrow cries, comfort and caress me. And then my soul may hear a voice, a still small voice of love eternal. Darkness, when my fears arise, let your peace flow through me.
I'm Cynthia Lanier, and I'm your worship leader today. The teddy bears will be given to Project Rest and the City of Spartanburg Public Safety for children who are separated from their families. And you can come forward to present your bears and other animals that you might have. It's time to say our covenant. Our covenant expresses the love we feel for our church and community. It can be found in your order of worship, and I invite you to read it with me now. We are the people of faith and hope. Together we covenant to strive to become our better selves, to honor both critical mind and the religious heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of love beyond belief. And now we come to the part that some people don't like, and most of the people do. It's greeting one another. When we are a community of loving people, we like to greet one another. We ask everyone to honor each other's wishes concerning personal space. You are also welcome to remain seated privately. And for those who are watching virtually, feel free to text or phone someone who you care about. And when you hear the music playing, please return quietly to your seats. And now the holy chaos can begin.
So now that everybody is, am I on? So now that everyone is seated again, I'm going to invite you to come forward. All of the young at heart, have a circle, sit in a circle right up here if you would like to come forward. But beware, even if you don't come to the front, everybody's going to be participating in this story. So that's up to you if you come to the front. So. Hey, Henry. Thank you, guys. All right, so this morning our story is, of course, about a bear. And his name is Berlioz, Berlioz the bear. And this is Berlioz. He is a musician. And he plays the bass, as you can see. Hopefully you can see some of that in the back. He plays the bass. And Berlioz one day was getting ready for a concert in the village close to him, like he did every year with his orchestra called, of course, the Berlioz Orchestra. And he was tuning up his instrument, and he started hearing this sound. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Can you all make that sound? Everybody. So every time I raise my hand like this, I want you to make that sound, okay? So Berlioz thought, well, that's odd, but I'm going to go ahead and just tune up the best I can. So it was time for everybody to get ready to go on a little short journey to the concert. And so these are the other bears that were part of his orchestra, and they're getting on a beautifully painted wagon that's pulled by a mule. And so they were all getting on the wagon. And started heading down the road. And Berlioz, of course, as the leader of the orchestra, was very concerned about this strange noise he kept hearing coming from his instrument. And he was so distracted by that he didn't see a giant hole in the road. Now, this was a dirt road, so it was kind of muddy. And so one of the wagon wheels fell in the mud. And the mule, being a mule, decided to sit down and not move anymore. And so Berlioz said, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We're going to be late for our concert. Well, along came a rooster, right here. And the rooster said, no problem. Just give me the rope, I can pull you out. So everybody kind of looked at him and said, oh, maybe. And so the rooster pulled and pulled and pulled and said, I guess I'm not going to be able to move you. And the mule just sat there looking around, as mules do. And so they sat there and they sat there and they didn't know what to do. And along came a tabby cat. And the tabby cat said, that rooster can't do anything. I'm gonna be the one to pull you out. And so, of course, the tabby cat went on there and pulled, and the mule didn't budge. And so it was getting later in the afternoon, and Berlioz said, all right, everybody, we're going to need to put on our costumes so that at least we have that done when we get there, because we're going to be getting there right as the concert starts. And he kept hearing that sound, and he was getting very, very worried. So they sat there a while longer, and off in the distance, a little Schnauzer dog had been watching. And so if you know a Schnauzer, they're about this tall. And so the Schnauzer said, okay, rooster couldn't do it, cat couldn't do it, I'm going to do it. I'm the dog, I can do this. So he goes over to the wagon and he pulls. Well, what do you think happened? Nothing. Mule just sat there. And so Berlioz said, okay, I'm going to hand out our music so we'll have one more thing ready for when we get to the concert. And then along comes a goat. Well, he was just a little bit bigger than the dog, but not by much. So then the rooster, the cat, the dog, and the goat all grabbed hold of the rope and pulled. And nothing happened. And they sat there well longer, and Berlioz was sweating by this time because he knew they were going to be late for the concert. And so along comes a plow horse. Now, if you know what a plow horse is, they're very large animals in the horse world. They're very strong. They're used to pulling things. And, you know, he came along and he said, all these little guys, they can't do that. So I'm going to be the one to pull this mule out of the hole in the ground and get the wagon going. Well, they all joined in, all the small animals, plus the plow horse, and nothing happened. So Berlioz, here he is, he's scratching his head. He doesn't know what to do, how they're going to get over there. It's too far to walk, then they'd be really late. So they have to get this wagon moving. So along comes an ox across the field. And an ox is at least as big and as strong as a plow horse. And the ox said, you've got to be kidding. Of course I'm the one that can pull you out. I'm the biggest. I'm the strongest. I can do this. Nope. Didn't work. He twisted the rope around his horns, and all the animals pushed and pulled, and that mule, probably just out of pure stubbornness, just sat there. So make that Zoom sound really loud. So now, all of a sudden, something flew out of Berlioz's instrument. Anybody got an idea what it is? Yeah. It's a bee. It's a bumblebee. And you know what the first thing was that he saw when he jumped out of the bass instrument? It was the rear end of that mule. And he jumped out, he went over to that mule, and zip, there he goes. So there's the mule. He reared up his legs, he jumped out of that hole, and he ran down the road as fast as he could go, and they made it to the concert on time. So there they are, arriving at the concert, and here's all the villagers and everybody singing and dancing at the concert. So what music do you think they played when they got as one of their songs? Something called Flight of the Bumblebee. So they were all very happy, and it was a very successful concert. So let me ask you, who do you think was the hero in this story? Was it all the big animals, all the different animals that kept bragging they could do it, or was it the little tiny bee? It was the bee, the little tiny bee that saved the day. So what else do you think might be the moral of this story? Any thoughts? The little guy saving the day, but also I think it's that bears and bees together can do anything. So you guys can head back to your seats for the rest of the service.
Bears and bees together can do anything, and so can we. Last week I shared with you that our focus for social justice this month is to support a refugee family. We don't know where they will come from, but we know that they are coming to our community. And so we are doing a few things to help provide welcome. The first is that at the back of the sanctuary, we have a tree, and last week it was covered in tags. Everyone could take a tag, and there would be a household item on it, a spatula or a pan or pillows, bed sheets, so that we could help to outfit an apartment for this family as they come. And by the end of the service last week, the tree was bare. Thank you for your generosity and your engagement with this project. Rising to the challenge you have set for us, there are some new tags on the tree, particularly to create kits for infants, for children who will come with this family. So if you did not get to take a tag, please know that they are not all gone. They have been replenished, and there is a tag for you on the tree. We also share the plate this month on behalf of this family. Half of all undesignated gifts in our offering plate and all designated gifts will go to support the welcome for this family, to help them with their initial expenses, and to support them as they become equal members of this community along with us. Let us share our gifts.
Christmas come, its great star glow on quiet city parks of snow. Let Christmas come, its table gleam, well born again, the truth of dream. Let Christmas come, its story told, on days are short and nights are cold. Let Christmas come, its lovely song, when evening soon and night is long.
My siblings and I are famous for fighting with each other. It is wonderful to see a sister and brother singing together. I feel a little disoriented because there's a lot going on in this service, and you've all followed directions so well. It's like it's not a UU congregation. Thank you for all that you bring. Join me in silence. Many of us came this morning with tears in our eyes. And many of us came with laughter. It's wonderful to be in a place where tears and laughter flow. Look at these bears and these animals. They are going on a journey. They're going to find their way into other hands and other arms. When we do Teddy Bear Sunday, we ask that we bring new or gently used and washed stuffed animals. Now, why do we ask that? Why do we ask that the gifts we bring be new or gently used and washed? Why? And we're giving them away, and so what? Yes, listen to the engineer. We are giving things away. We want something new to be given, and we want them to be clean, right? That's a COVID protocol that has followed us to this point in what we hope is the end of a pandemic, right? And so we have new bears. Bears that are intact and in good shape with both eyes bright and shining, all stitches in place. When these animals make their journey and travel into the hands and the arms of people that we may not know, over time, what will they come to look like? Now you're laughing and I can't understand what you're all saying. Well, tell me what you're saying. Judy. Say it, Judy. Explain it to us. Like the Velveteen Rabbit, what does that mean? What does that mean? Amber, say it. Well-loved means what? That sounds euphemistic to me. What does that mean? Mary, say it. Torn to pieces. Why? Why will these animals going on a journey come to be worn? Why will traveling into hands and arms that we may not know reshape them into something threadbare? Why will that happen? Freddie, it sounds like you've had a teddy bear before. Tell me. I bet the monkey had a name. These animals will travel into arms, and they will change. And their outward appearance will mark their inward transformation. What is it that will change these animals? Say it, Jean. Say it loud. Love. Love will change these animals. Not only the love that they receive, but also the love that they give. The sign that these animals are living their purpose, are coming into the fullness of their being, will be that they are worn and tattered and frayed, not shiny new, but weathered by real life. Look into the eyes of these animals all around us and just see if they are alive. Peer into the eyes of these animals that are gathered around us today. And if you don't see life in their eyes yet, ask yourself, is there a moment when they will become alive? Now, what would you say this is? Say it out loud. A book. It looks like a book, right? It's got a lot of words in it. It's written by many famous people. They say a lot of really great things in it, a lot of hard things. They don't say that this is a book. They say that this is a cake. I'm going to pass it around. You can check it out. You can touch it. You can cut into it. You can smell it. If you taste it, please wipe it off. Right? I'm going to give it to Mr. Molnax. It may not make it out of his hands. See what you think about that thing. The people who wrote that are world famous people, and they say it's a cake. It's a cake. Because they put in it all kinds of ingredients. And the ingredients, they don't sound good. Ingredients like war. I don't want war in my cake, but they put war in their cake. And ingredients like fighting and meanness and prison and sickness and hunger. They put all that stuff into their cake. And they cooked it together, talking with each other and thinking with each other and bringing their best of that stuff. And when it came out, they said, this is a cake. Now, what could take all of those terrible things and turn them into a cake? What could do that? Say it loud, Judy. Love. They bring love in with all of that stuff. And it sounds weak. It sounds pathetic. War, hunger, fighting, meanness, bullying. And bring in love. And suddenly all of those terrible stories become something rich and beautiful. And what do we do with cake? Wouldn't you like to try a little bit? That's all that book is asking. Just try a little bit. See how good this can be. All month we're talking about joy. What makes for joy? And the people who baked this cake, wrote this book, what they said is, joy comes when we help each other. So you can find joy in lots of things, but the fastest way to find joy, the surest way to find happiness in life, is to turn around and help somebody else, to express compassion. Compassion is a word that means to suffer with someone, to be with someone. It doesn't mean to understand everything they're going through. It doesn't mean to be just like them. It doesn't mean to have solutions and fixes for all their problems. What it means is to just be with someone. To just be. Think about the children who will receive these animals. Has anybody here got the solution to domestic violence that we could take out into our community today and fix that? Anybody got that? If you do, I would really like for you to stand up. We will all follow you out this door and march into the city right now. Nobody's got the solution? These bears go out. These animals go out, not with a fix, not with a solution, but to be with people in darkness. And they take with them a power to change things. We long to make the world a better place. We long for it. I long for it. We search and search for answers, and we need to look for those answers. But at heart, the thing that can shift darkness to light and sorrow to joy is to just be with each other, to care for each other, even when we don't know what to do. Just to be with. You know, this season, we put up lights and decorations. It's so beautiful. The stories of Hanukkah and Christmas, stories of solstice, are stories of people who long to change the world and don't know how. But they come to be with us, to just be with us, to gather in darkness and cold and hunger and strife, not knowing all the answers, but giving ourselves to each other. Simple act of compassion that brings light to a dark world. It seems so silly. Animals coming to life, books being baked into cakes, people without answers thinking they can make a difference. But in this congregation, we do something every week to express this idea, this paradox that seems like it shouldn't work, but that our greatest teachers tell us to keep trying. Every week, we gather around this table and we pick up things that are hard and bitten by the brutal reality of the world. Stones, shells, objects that can cause us pain, could cut us. And we pick up these stones and shells and we place in them what? Our love. The sorrows that we carry and the joys. We place them in this bowl. It seems useless. What can that do? Think about what it does for you. Think about what this act of compassion does. When we stop for just a moment to be with each other, to share with each other no solutions, no fixes, not even any words, but together to just be with our suffering and our hope. Look at the kind of community it creates. Look at the kinds of things that a community like this does. Compassion is the decision to be with each other when we have no answers and darkness overwhelms. And it changes us. It brings us joy. So I want to invite you today, in the company of these bears that will travel places none of us will go, in the company of each other carrying things that none of us know, but that we pretend to share, we hope to share. I want to invite you to come forward, to place a stone or shell in this rippling bowl, to bring your joys and concerns, and to feel what it is like to share those with each other, to just be with each other. No answers, no fixes. Light and hope and joy, and a world that we can change. Come take what is hardest and change it with love.
Please stand as you're willing and able and join me on hymn number 238 in your gray hymnal. Within the shining of a star, we catch a glimpse of who we are. In every infant born we see the hope of our nativity. The miracle of each new birth can shake and save the stony earth. Triumphantly the newborn's cry strikes echoes from the waiting sky.
From the opening lines of the Book of Joy. The Archbishop and Dalai Lama had revealed one of the core paradoxes of happiness. We are most joyful when we focus on others, not on ourselves. In short, bringing joy to others is the fastest way to experience joy oneself. As Dalai Lama had said, even 10 minutes of meditation on the well-being of others can help one to feel joyful for the whole day, even before coffee.
These bears go out into darkness none of us desire. They take no words and no answers, but a power to change to light. We go that way too.
We have spent time together